What's going on, guys? Down here now at the rental property, just doing some last minute clean out. We actually have a tenant that's about to move in soon, and we passed our Section 8 inspection this past Saturday. We just wanted to do a quick walkthrough video and show you guys some of the things that Section 8 will fail you for. Some of these things are just common things that you might overlook, but we'll go ahead and show you guys just so you can be on the lookout for them. All right, so we'll start out with the easy things to look out for. You want to make sure that your floors are in good shape, your walls are in good shape, and of course your ceilings are in good shape. You also want to go through and make sure that all of your outlets are working, and also that you test all of the lights and that they come on and go off. Something that the inspectors fail a lot is making sure that your doors are weatherproof. So for this door, we had air coming in at the bottom, but you can buy one of these little weather strips just to make sure that that air stays out. What you also want to make sure you have is good weather stripping. We're at the back door now. Make sure that air doesn't get in through the cracks in the door. So we have weather stripping all the way around. Door is weatherproof. Now we replaced all of our little light switch plates and the plates for the electrical sockets. Now if those have cracks in it, that will fail you. And also, guys, this is really important. If you have an outlet close to a sink or any type of water source, you'll have to have this type of outlet, which is called a GFCI, which protects from electric shock. So we have one in the kitchen by the sink, and we also have one in the bathroom. You'll want to make sure that things like your vanities and any type of countertops are secured. Your water, hot and cold, is working. You'll want to make sure you have no leaks. The toilet has to be able to flush correctly. You have to have a tub or a shower in the unit. Also important, you have to have your smoke detector and your carbon monoxide detector. And the inspector will test each one, so let's make sure that these work. Now, one of the biggest things that I've been warned about when doing Section 8 is to make sure that your windows can open and close correctly, and also that they can lock correctly. So we're going to test out a couple of these windows real quick and show you how to troubleshoot if you have a broken lock. All right, now this is a new window, so we don't have any issues with this one opening and closing and locking. So that one works just fine. Now with some of our older windows, we had some issues, and I'll show you this one. Hopefully the lighting's not too off, but this is metal and we couldn't put a latch back there, so there's nothing for this to hook on to. So in a case like that, what you can do is use one of these screw-on locks that attaches to the side of the window. So a tenant can take that off. Looks like that. Secures tightly to the window. And with that on, the window is locked in place. Now for the windows that we have that are old and the locks are broken off and we were unable to replace them, we just bought these little sliding window locks, which you can get for $2 or $3. We bought these from Home Depot, and they were able to solve our solution for the windows that wouldn't lock. All right, now this window has a latch on it, but we had issues opening and closing it. It would get stuck trying to open it and stuck back on the way down, but I'll show you what we did with this. And now it opens pretty good. And closes too. But what we used was bought some grease that we put on the slides of the window and we were able to fix that. But I'll show you at the end of this video what we use for that. All right, I'm going to head outside and show you guys a couple of things on the exterior that you want to look out for. But also, and I didn't show this, but we don't provide the refrigerator and the stove for the tenant. So the tenant has to have that in place before the inspection, which in this case, they already had it in place and it did pass. All right, of course, with the windows, you want to make sure that you have no cracked window panes. You want to make sure that your roof is in good condition. You also want to make sure that you don't have a bunch of trash on the premises. All right, now another thing that is a common item that has failed is railing on your steps or porch, which this one we didn't even have to put one, but I've checked 2 checklists on the rules for this, and one said that if you have steps or porch coming above 30 inches, or if you have more than 6 steps. But for this one, we were under both of those, but we went ahead and put a rail anyway, just for safety and for the style. But to be on the safe side, I mean, moving forward, we're just gonna do railing for anything that's above 30 inches. All right, guys, real quick, I just wanted to show you a couple of handy products that you might just want to have around for some of these small issues. So for the case of the windows that wouldn't open and close smoothly, and I got this from my dad, which is white lithium grease. And what we did was just grease the tracks of the windows with this, and I mean, it slid up and down just like it was supposed to. Another product that you might want to use for small holes in your sheetrock is Dry-Dex. And what you do with this is you just fill it into small holes, and then you smooth it out, and it dries on white. So it's kind of like just a quick little wall or hole repair. All right, now here in Tennessee, and this is something I really just found out while we were going through the whole process of trying to find the tenant and get it occupied and go through the checklist to get everything done. But I actually had no idea that there were actually 2 Section 8 organizations that you could go through. So here in Tennessee, or Memphis rather, we have the THDA, which is the Tennessee Housing Development Agency, and we also have the MHA, which is the Memphis Housing Authority. And when you hear all these different stories from people who've been doing this a while, dealing with Section 8, you hear just a lot of horror stories about how difficult they are to deal with and how they check for every little thing and make you redo all these different things. But that's actually with the MHA, the Memphis Housing Authority. Now, when I told a couple of my mentors that I was actually going to be dealing with the THDA, it was almost like everything changed. They were a lot more positive about what my experience would be like. They told me that THDA was easy to work with, and so far that has been my experience. The walkthrough was easy and simple. We had a couple of issues when the inspector was here that we were able to correct right on site, but they did let us do that, and it was just a positive experience that we had overall with THDA. Now, I have dealt with MHA before, but that's been years ago when we were dealing with a couple of Section 8 properties. And I do remember having gone through the inspection and having to correct a few things, and the inspector had to come back out. But it's one of those things where we're just going to try to use the checklist that the websites provide and go through everything, just try to have them done right the first time. But that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was informative. Hope it helped somebody. And what I also do is provide a link to the THDA checklist, so you can go through it. If you're in Memphis, if you're in Tennessee, you can use that checklist to get your properties ready. If you're in another state, it still might be a pretty good guide to use. So again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you keep up with the journey. We're still pushing forward with these properties. And I'll see you guys next time.